We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with some huge news and speculation coming out of last night's Extreme Rules 2022 Premium Live event, which featured an absolutely massive return that most fans were beginning to feel like was not going to be happening on the show. Now, WWE was having some of those White Rabbit teasers play out during the Extreme Rules show last night. And while many were expecting for the reveal of who exactly the White Rabbit is to happen at Extreme Rules, it really did seem like it was not going to be happening, because the Fight Pit match between Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle had concluded, and the end credits for Extreme Rules were appearing on the screen, but much to the shock of everybody in attendance at Extreme Rules, and those watching worldwide, the lights in the arena went out, and we got the reveal of the White Rabbit, and it turned out to be none other than Bray Wyatt like many had predicted. This was a huge return for WWE, and the fans went absolutely insane once Bray Wyatt made his presence felt, and by all means this was one of the biggest and most thunderous returns in recent WWE history for sure. And kudos to Triple H and WWE for making that return as special and momentous as it could possibly make it, and they really did wait until the absolute last second for it to happen. Bray Wyatt is finally back in WWE after being gone from the company for well over a year, after being shockingly released in the summer of 2021, and there's no doubt that the company have some massive plans for Bray Wyatt moving forward. And as far as we know right now, it appears as though Bray Wyatt will be ditching the Fiend character and going back to his cult-like leader gimmick, or at least some kind of a variation of that persona, which is certainly very intriguing to say the least. Bray's return was definitely a long time coming, and some fans are asking why exactly WWE decided to bring Bray Wyatt back to WWE. Well, we have some answers for you. According to one of our sources, Triple H was very upset when Vince McMahon made the call last year to release Bray Wyatt out of the blue like that, and Hunter strongly urged Vince to reconsider his decision and bring Bray Wyatt back to the company. But McMahon clearly refused to give in and bring Wyatt back to WWE. But once Triple H took over creative when Vince McMahon suddenly stepped down, we have been told that one of the first things Triple H wanted to do was to have Bray Wyatt return, as well as a few other unceremoniously released superstars like Braun Strowman and Karrion Kross. Hunter feels like Bray Wyatt's an exceptional talent and a big-name superstar that deserves a top spot in WWE, and judging by that crowd reaction last night at Extreme Rules when Bray Wyatt returned, Bray's arguably a megastar-level talent, so definitely the right call on Triple H's part to bring him back. And going forward, there is no doubt that Hunter will be giving Bray a whole lot more creative freedom than Vince did. WWE feel having Bray Wyatt back in the company is going to be leading to an increase in ratings and viewership moving forward on Raw and SmackDown. And with the new rumors and speculation we have to share regarding the potential plans WWE have for Bray Wyatt in the immediate future, that is likely very true. Apparently, WWE are considering for Bray Wyatt to reform some kind of a Wyatt Family faction in the near future, and recruit some current superstars to join his stable. And among the names rumored to be joining Bray Wyatt is none other than the former SmackDown Women's Champion, Liv Morgan, who lost her title to Ronda Rousey at Extreme Rules last night. But even though you would think that the big talking point about Liv Morgan at Extreme Rules would be her losing her championship to Rousey, the real talking point is really about Liv Morgan showing a darker side of her character even in the loss, with Liv smiling as Ronda Rousey defeated her, which many pointed out as being quite bizarre, including commentators Corey Graves and Michael Cole. And then Liv proceeded to act very strange behind the scenes and dark in the backstage interview, which gained a lot of buzz and attention from fans for obvious reasons, with current backstage reports indicating that WWE are potentially planning for Liv Morgan to join the returning Bray Wyatt as the first recruit for the new Wyatt Family or Wyatt 6 family. By all means, an alliance between Liv Morgan and Bray Wyatt could certainly be very interesting, and it would allow for Liv Morgan to change up her gimmick and evolve her character into a more interesting one, and likely become a bigger star in the women's division because of it, with a heel turn being quite likely with this change of character. Now this would sort of be a similar storyline to the one WWE went with between the Fiend Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss, and there's definitely a lot of similarities between this new dark version of Liv Morgan and the Alexa Bliss who joined Bray. Now it's not as if Liv Morgan was a bad SmackDown Women's Champion, as many felt like WWE made a big mistake having Ronda Rousey dethrone Liv of the championship at Extreme Rules. but the fact that we may now be getting a new Wyatt family with Liv Morgan being the first superstar added to the faction more than makes up for Liv's title loss, as she will definitely be getting a big push moving forward if WWE do decide to go with this rumored storyline of a darker Liv Morgan joining forces with a returning Bray Wyatt. Now let us know your guys' thoughts on Bray Wyatt's return last night at Extreme Rules 2022 overall, and as well, what do you think about Liv Morgan joining Bray Wyatt in a new Wyatt 6 faction with a darker character in the very near future? Should Liv Morgan be one of the superstars WWE choose to join Bray Wyatt, or do you have other superstars in mind and feel Liv should remain a singles competitor and not change up or transform her character? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments section below. While Roman Reigns' bloodline has been an incredibly dominant faction and one that works extremely well together, which is partly the reason as to why Roman's had such a lengthy historic run as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, this past week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown exposed some vulnerability in the bloodline, specifically when it comes to Jey Uso's involvement with the bloodline. On SmackDown, Logan Paul basically set in motion a lot of tension between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, who was clearly getting out of line, and had it not been for Sami Zayn basically defusing the situation, things could have ended very badly for Jey Uso. Now, according to a breaking new backstage rumor, in a bit of a storyline twist, WWE are reportedly considering for Jey Uso to essentially be removed from the Bloodline stable in the near future temporarily for acting out of line and not being a team player, because as most of you are likely well aware, Jey Uso has really been the one not getting along with Sami Zayn and causing the Bloodline some issues in recent weeks, and things will apparently be reaching a breaking point soon in the coming weeks, with Roman Reigns having no choice but to put Jey Uso back in line and kick him out of the Bloodline for a while until he can get things together. The group cannot work as a cohesive unit if there is any bad blood or tension, and Jey Uso has been acting out of line recently, and if these new rumors are true, he may be getting a strong message from the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns in the coming weeks on SmackDown, and being ousted from the Bloodline for the immediate future until he can prove himself and send the message to Reigns that he belongs in the Bloodline again. And apparently it will likely be Jey Uso who really saves the day and helps Roman Reigns retain his title against Logan Paul at Crown Jewel 2022, likely leading to Jey being accepted back into the Bloodline.